So a little bit of knowledge is about David and Davison, right? Because I was watching the TV the other night, and I've seen the Crying Game was on, right? So I was watching a bit of this Crying Game thing, right? Obviously the Crying Game type of idea is Masonic idea, referring to sort of what do for naturals, make them experience the Crying Game and all that. See. So as always, Masonic coded, right? But the actual actor in the movie, right? And if you know the story about this Crying Game movie, right? It's about like a trance type of thing. It's about this like it's about a bloke who falls in love or something with what he thinks is a woman, see, but it turns out to be a man, right? So it's like trans ideas in it and all this, right? And some interesting things in it, like for example, a character is called Fergus, right? And watch Jungle Surfer's video for the Fergus idea, right? And he's also called Jimmy. When he takes a different name, he's called Jimmy, right? So Jimmy and Fergus, right? And then the trans character, right, is called the actor's real name, right, is Gia Davison, right? It's either Gia Davidson or Gia Davison, right? But it's like the same type of thing, right? So it's like Gia is James, as we know, and the David, yeah, like House of David and all that. So I always see James paired with David in these type of Masonic codings and all that, right? But it's interesting to look at the Davison idea, the Davis, right? This David, right? Because what you're talking about, right, with the Davis idea, right, is like Viz, right? Viz is basically like visage, right? Which is like face, right? So you're talking about Davis, right? You're talking about a dual face idea, right? So it's like two faces, right? Like the Masonic, Janus, or the two Johns, the two-faced idea, right? The two faces, right? So, so you have like the Davison idea, right? It's like two faces on the sun type of idea, right? The son, obviously son of David, or whatever you say, what I mean, always the same type of codes, right? And interesting, you read in this movie, the Crying Game, right? It's Boy George who sings the song on the end credits and all that, right? The Crying Game, right? And Boy George's real name is George O'Dowd, right? So O'Dowd is David again, right? So you've always got the James and David ideas together, right? So so when you have the David, right, and the Davis, two-faced, right? Um, so obviously when you have like that COVID thing and all that, it's like similar to David, so it's like faced type of thing, you know what I mean? See, because vid basically means see, and look and all that. It's like in that Clockwork Orange thing where he sort of says vidi thee well brother or something, see? It's like it means like look and view and see, see, with the eyes. And of course this is to do with like tricking like what the eye can see and all that, see? So it's like you think trans think you're looking at a man, it's a woman. You think you're looking at a woman, it's actually a man. Type of trickery ideas, two faces, right? And of course in the like the way the system is and all that, two faces, as in the way they treat the naturals and the way they treat the teas. See what I mean? Like good treatment for these teas and sort of bad treatment for naturals, like the Crying Game, see? The Crying Game for the naturals, right? So it's like all this Masonic code stuff and all that, right? And another thing about this is, right, when you have visage, like visage is face, right? So you had that Steve Strange song, right? Steve Strange, We Fade the Grey, Visage, right? And that was, obviously a song about sort of naturals dying out and fading into the background and fading away type of thing, see what I mean? Like the grey type of, like, death idea and all that. Steve's like a mate of him and a contemporary or whatever of Boy George and all that type of, what they called romantic crew or whatever that came about in the 1980s, see what I mean? Obviously gender benders and all that, Marilyn and all that, see what I mean? So like moving the sort of agenda on, you see what I mean, bit by bit and all that. Obviously their own agenda of this trans stuff and all that, and Steve Strange, right? No, and obviously you've got that sort of coded in way for the grey. You know, you've got it encoded into that, like Earl Grey tea and all that. And that type of grey code, what I covered in the grey video, what I've done. Yeah, a lot of grey stuff, right? Greystoke, you know, Legend of the Tarzan and all that. It's a lot of grey code and all that, right? So see from that, see it's like this, the David and the Davis idea for Davison. You see what I mean? It's to do with Two-Faced. You see what I mean? Which is obviously to do with that Masonic Janus James ideas and all that. James and David, like.